I still got my head fro going. Be right back.
Oh boy.
All right, we all set?
Ready?
Roger.
Yep. And I got the recorder going. And
Sonia, ready? Sonia, are you ready?
Sonia, you there?
Do you hear her?
I don't hear her. Is the show?
No.
It's just sometimes her phone cuts out. Let's just go. She's there. She's there.
I'm here.
Oh,
Okay.
there she is. All right, there she is. All right. So yeah, we can go ahead and begin anytime.
You want to open it or want me to open it?
No, you can go ahead and you just bring us right in.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
5, 4, 3. All right, we are back in style. I'm Dave D, and you're listening to the Global Detection Adventure podcast, along with Lance Goolsby in Schweinsfurt, Germany. Mike Counter is out of town this week, so it's just going to be Lance and I. I'm in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and we got a great show for you today. We're going to bring in Gary B from XP Deus. Sonia, XP Sonia will also be in, and we are going to have a special YouTuber in, and he will be talking about his adventures in the field of metal detecting. Lance, I know we had some problems getting everything going today, but what else is new? How you doing over there? Are you still hanging out?
Yeah, hanging in. I got over being sick about 2 weeks ago, and then I just got done being sick. I got sick again on Friday and was able to sleep it off overnight. Still got a little bit of a rasp in the throat, but everything seems to be going all right here. Been really.
All right. You know what? We're running pretty late here, so let's go to our first really quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to bring in XP Gary. He's been waiting for a good half hour now, so let's get him going. You're listening to the Global Detection Adventure podcast with Lance, Mike, and Dave, and we'll be right back right after these words.
All right, good pause.
All right, you're going to bring in the commercial.
Yeah.
Let's cue the music.
Yeah, and we got a segment from Scott Dubay. I think his name is Dubay, from Garrett Ace Metal Detectorist on YouTube, on Facebook. That's a group. He's talking about, I believe it's the new MAS Double D 13.5 inch coil that they got. So that's what it's gonna be in one of these breaks. So,
all right. Well, let's bring in Gary. Let's cue that music, and then we'll come right back in.
All right. So I'm gonna cue music, and then you feel free to start talking when you feel.
Right.
Make sure volume's up. And leave a break. Dave?
Yeah, I can't even hear it.
You couldn't hear that?
No. Gary B. Let's take Lance. Can you take that again from the top so I can hear that music a little bit better?
Yeah, just a second. Let me see what I can do here. I'm checking our feedbacks. right, ready?
Yep. All right, we're back. You're listening to Global Detection Adventure Podcast. I'm Dave D, and according to that music intro, that sound bites you're hearing means only one thing. We are now joined by the man who put the XP in the dais from his new location, or should I call it the Money Pit. Gary, how you doing at your new home?
Hey, all good. Yeah, it's the Money Pit, big time, but I just love living there. Great. How you doing, guys?
Yeah, we're doing good. If you need a painter, let me know. I'll be glad to come over there and help you out.
Well, funny you should say that. We've got about 7 rooms to do at the moment. They all need doing. So come over for a break day.
Sure, I'll do that. Hey, Gary, before we can start, I want to introduce to you one of the Midwest XP field team members. She's out of the great state of Indiana. And I got to tell you, in my opinion, she's one of the finest detectors in the hobby. That goes for men and women.
Totally agreed.
She goes by the name, or by the handle, I should say, XP Sonia Harshman. Sonia, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, guys.
Hi, Sonia. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Excellent. Have you had any more 1857 Indian Princess head coins out yet?
No, I have not, but I plan to find a time. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I think one's enough for now. Until wait till I get mine first, Sonia. All right. Hey,
all right, we'll see.
Okay, let's get to it. Now, Gary, XP has really grown in the past few years, not only in sales, but there's this big surge in technology. You got the 2 high frequency coils. You got the XP updates from the 3.2 to the 4, and my favorite, you got the MI6 pinpointer. Let's go with the high frequency coils first. How do they help in the performance department using the XP dais?
Well, Dave, as you know, the XP is renowned for being updatable, and this is really another extension to the machine. The high frequency coils just take it to another level. It makes it more of a technical machine, shall we say. Okay, you've got your various frequencies. Cool, we all know that. 14 kilohertz, 28 kilohertz, 50 kilohertz, or 80 kilohertz with the elliptical coil. Let's put the 14 kilohertz to one side, because we all know what that sort of does. It's for general searching. But once you start getting into those higher frequencies, then you start picking the bones from the bones. You really start finding some tricky targets. For example, coins on edge, things like that. At XP, we've got a term called the last of the treasure. It means when you've been over a spot for many, many years, all your buddies have been over the spot and you think it's worked out, then use your high frequency coil to go and find the last of the treasure.
So you would use that pretty much to the so-called hunted out fields, or can you use that in just an everyday type metal detecting? Would it help you in that too?
I guess it would, but the thing is, you only know what you're finding. You never know what you're missing. So
right,
yeah, that's true.
For general searching, I probably wouldn't recommend the elliptical coil, because that is a real technical coil. If we go into the terms of like a Roman site, if I'm searching a small patch which contains Roman coins and artifacts, then the elliptical coil is a great coil for winching out from small targets. But if I was on a big pasture field, no, I probably wouldn't choose the elliptical coil until I found a hot spot, you know?
Yeah. So, well, I know, Sonia, you've had some experience with the high frequency coil. I know that you got one and you used it a few times. What kind of reaction did you have with first using it, and were you using it correctly? And do you have any questions for Gary regarding that?
I actually do have a question for Gary. Say after I've hit it, quite a few times and I found most everything, what frequency should I go? Should I set it on the highest frequency when I go back, or, what do you suggest?
Okay. It really depends on your desired target. Yes, for the middle frequency, sort of 28 kilohertz, is a really, really good option. And you'll notice with these white coils, they can handle a lot more sensitivity. So you can, in many cases, boost the sensitivity up and still keep them stable. So to answer your question there, Sonia, there is not really an ideal frequency because we're all looking for different things. If for example, you were out looking for small gold or small gold chains or small jewelry, then I'd say take it up to the top, take it up to the highest frequency. But if you just you don't know what you're looking for, then probably sort of the middle frequency, sort of 28 kilohertz, would be a good starting point.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, because usually I'm looking more for coins and, buttons, that sort of thing.
Yeah. In a nutshell, the targets that come between 35 and sort of mid 40s on your meter, the higher the frequency, the high frequency will enhance that target range. Sad to say, foil and pull tabs or whatever, the lower conductivity bits, it will give a bigger target on those, but it'll also cut through the bad soil much better.
Okay.
Great. Let's switch it up. Let's go. Let's talk about the updates. Now I got my controller. I went from the 3.2 to the 4, and what can you explain the difference and why do you have these updates, and why is there such? Well, let's talk about the difference first between the 3.2 and the 4.
Okay, well, I know for a fact that you run a Mac, Dave. So you're up.
No, I have Windows.
No,
so.
I have
right.
I have the Mac over here. Yeah.
Oh, Alice has got the Mac. Okay, so there's no update available for the Mac, so it's a Windows PC. The updates are, as you know, they're free updates, and a lot of work has gone into those updates, not just to accommodate, for example, the version 4 is to accommodate the white coils, accommodate the MI6 pinpointer. Then you've got some nice additions to it as well. You've got an XY screen. You've got my hot program as standard. It's program number 9, factory preset number 9. And the silencer, the filters, they're working a lot better, the ion separation on version 4. But it's just another dimension to the Deus. A lot of people think because they're on version 4, they can no longer use the black coils. This is not true. The black coils are still compatible with version 4 updates.
Okay. Well, we got a little bit of I don't know, mixed. I'm not even gonna say mixed review. I've just noticed a few people talking about, they're having problems with the 4. They think that 3.2 is better. What problems are they encountering? Or have you heard about, or what's kind of making them go from the 4 back to the 3.2, and why? Because I don't have any problems with my 4, and I'm using the black coil with the MI6 pinpointer. I haven't had any problems at all. Is this something due to that they're still trying to get the kinks out from when they first did it, or?
Yeah, I think a lot of the problems, Dave, is social media, because they go onto your Facebook sites or your forums or whatever it might be, and then there's certain people who say, version 3.2 was better, and then that puts the seed of doubt in your mind, and then people go back to 3.2. But there's very little difference between the version 3.2 and version 4 in terms of performance. It's purely to accommodate the new coil and pinpointers. But there's slight filtering differences, but all you have to do is go onto my program number 9, hot, and that is version 3.2 filters. So there's no need to revert back to version 3.2. You just use the hot program as your platform and build all your custom programs on that basis, and then you've in all essence got 3.2 Deus without having to re-download 3.2.
Yeah, that's what I'm using right now. I basically use the hot program. I haven't had no problems at all. So Yeah, I could see where that social media is coming into play. Finally, I want to get into my favorite addition to the XPDA. This is the MI6 pinpointer. I don't know how many countless pinpointers that I went through before. I'm not even going to name the names, but let's just say they're a pretty popular pinpointer. I've had falsing with them. I've had the buttons don't work. The volume is like basically a non-existent anymore. The volume, the speaker hole, it gets filled up with mud. I'll be pinpointing in front of a school, and I would have to wait for cars to actually pass by so I can hear my pinpointer. But with the MI6 and the XPDA, it's like a match made in heaven. Can you describe that MI6 pinpointer to people that have the XPDA
there's
don't have the pinpointer?
So much information packed into that little pinpointer. There's so many options, and as you said, program number 7 links it up directly with the dais, so the sound goes through your headphones. I mean, the amount of work it took to get that to operate properly was unbelievable. Months and months of work at XP, and it's been driving them mad, but they've got there in the end. Version 4, there's a couple of bugs with the connectivity and the pinpointer, but the version 4.1 hopefully has sorted all these issues out. Yeah, you don't need to even have a dais to use the MI6. You've got a speaker, you can use it like a conventional probe.
Yeah.
It's rechargeable, as you know, you get loads of life out of it, and you can use it underwater. And if you drop it, it floats. So a lot of thought's gone into it, and as you know, the construction of it is just fantastic. It's brilliant. I love it. I think carry on.
Sonia, I know you and Mike Spicer, we'll do a little name drop here, got that MI6 right away. Mike had some problems with it when he first got it. He returned it, got a new one, and he's good to go. How do you feel about your pinpointer, and what kind of problems did you have? Because I know initially you got it like right when it was brand new.
Yeah.
Probably before they got all the kinks out of it. What kind of problems did you have?
I had the problem of whenever it was off, sometimes it would take I would before it would reconnect, and I would try to turn off my picture on my remote. It would still say, and then I couldn't turn off my detector. So that was my main problem with it.
Was that something just in the beginning, still trying to get the kinks out, or was she not actually starting it properly? Or because I remember when I first started using mine, I brought it out into the field right away, and I didn't really understand it, and because I didn't read the directions, of course, and I went out and I just started using it as a regular pinpointer, and I couldn't really hear it. And I got home, read the directions, make sure it ran through my headset, and man, it's just a charm. I don't have to take my headset off anymore. My coil turns off, the pinpointer turns on. It's a great feature. Gary, is this something that it's something to do with because it was such a brand new pinpointer, in the versions that were getting kinks taken out of it?
Oh yeah, with everything, there's kinks in the new stuff. For example, mobile phones, your Apple phones, your Android phones. How many updates are on those in the space of a month? It's all development, but there's one little trick I can give you with a pinpoint probe, which I found out myself purely by mistake, because I had the lockup exactly the same as you, Sonia, and I thought, why is it doing that? Now, for example, if you're detecting a target and the probe is buzzing, if you turn it off at the point of its buzzing, that's when I got the lockup. I found that if you pull the probe away from the target so it's not buzzing and then switch it off, everything's fine. It's just the fact that when that audio is going off, turn it off then and it locks up. But I don't think it does it. I think it's a bug fix because I told XP about it, and I think they've addressed that now with the version 4.1.
Yes.
I'll tell you,
Yeah, once I got version 4.1, it worked better.
okay,
It worked great, actually. So
I take it that's the beta version. Is it the 4.1?
Yeah, we'll get into
Yes.
that. We'll get in that.
Okay, we get into that. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah. So Sonia, you're okay with it now, or is this something that you'll be able to use?
No. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's okay.
All right, great. All right. Let's take a little break here, and when we come back, I want to see if we can get some tips from you, Gary, for the beginners and experts, users of the XP Deus, and we can talk about that, and then we could talk about that 4.1 update. When we come back, you're listening to the Global Detection Adventure Podcast. We're with Lance and Dave. Mike's out of town right now, and we're talking to Gary B. of XP Deus, and along for the ride is XP Sonia, and we'll be right back after these words.
Blackadder is advancing perfection with every new shovel. Didn't think it was possible? Then head over to the website and check out all the shovels made specifically for metal detecting. www.blackada.com. See their amazingly affordable shovels for yourself. A family-run UK business that takes perfection to a new level. Blackadder.
Hello, I am the XP Deus WS4. You may not know me, but I am one of the best metal detectors on the market. I am fully customizable to your needs. I have unparalleled depth and accuracy. Not to mention, I have nothing on. There are no wires on me. I am naked, which means you can use me as you want. Take my coil and only use my headphones, or use just the coil and the control box. I am always here for you to use as you see fit. Oh come on now, get your mind out of the gutter. If you have not upgraded to the XP Deus, you don't know the power you are missing out on. Visit www.xpmetaldetectors.com to find out more.
Helping hundreds of people annoy their families while driving in a car. This is the GDA Radio Podcast. All right, Dave.
All right, we're back. You're listening to the Global Detection Adventures Podcast. I'm with Gary from XP. Gary, we were discussing that 4.1 beater, the factory, the new update. Could you describe that, and what's the difference now from going to 4 to 4.1?
Not a great deal of difference, really. It's mainly bug fixes, as Sonia was saying about the connectivity with the pinpoint probe. But there is a neat little addition to 4.1, which is a feature called ground sensitivity. If you go into ground, expert, and then underneath the ground notch, you'll see a new feature called ground sensitivity. Now, in a nutshell, what that does, that tells the Deus how to track the ground. Do you want to track the ground when there's slight mineral change, or do you want to track the ground when there's heavy mineral change? So you can adjust how sensitive the Deus tracks the ground. The reason why we've done this is because, as you know, with the Deus on the ground balance numbers, it's quite random. If you notice that, you get like 60 1 minute, 40 the next, 78 the next, and people tend to adjust their ground balance to whatever number it's saying. And also, if you're using tracking, it will track to those individual numbers, which it's a little bit oversensitive. So now we've given the user the opportunity to desensitize how heavy the Deus tracks the ground, and it's pretty good. I've been using it for about a month now, and I really, really like it. Instead of the numbers you'll see on the screen now, a dash dash, that means there's not enough ground echo for the machine to ground balance. So it's a good way of monitoring how mineralized your ground is.
Now, Sonia, I know you had some questions about settings, and this 4.1, and I don't really change my settings when I go out. I'm maybe because I'm still relatively new to the XP. I've been just basically going with the hot program. What kind of questions do you have on settings for Gary as far as the programs are concerned?
Well, I had some questions about the TX power and the. I normally leave my silencer at -1 and my big power usually at 2. And then did I need to change? Does it ever really need to be changed?
Okay, Sonia, I only got a little bit of that. It sounded like you're playing a piano there. What's going on, Lance?
Yeah, I think that's a connection. That's a connection issue from her side. There's nothing I can. I tried to.
Okay.
I think she. Let me. She's got the question is about the TX. Was it the TX boost? What were you talking about?
Yeah, the TX power. You'll notice on the white coils, there's no TX power option. We've done away with that completely. It's just TX power adjusts the overall power of the machine. So it's like boosting the whole circuit, and it's not really necessary. And you know what? If you're running TX at 3, it just drains the battery in no time at all. So we've made the white coil slightly different, so they don't require a TX power. Everything's done via the sensitivity. So if you're on a junkie site and you're using a black coil and you've got a TX power option, turn it down to 1, because the difference between 1 and 3 will give you about ½ an inch difference in depth on the coin. It's really minimal. So I wouldn't advise you to worry too much about TX gains. Just keep them as low as you can. Sensitivity.
Okay.
Sensitivity is quite an important one, because if you're getting a load of false spikes and you're sort of iron spikes, should we say, and you're in amongst iron, don't be frightened to turn the sensitivity down, because if you're hearing lots of false signals, they can easily mask small signals. So you're better off eliminating the false signals, if that's the right word, by lowering the sensitivity. My sifter program uses a sensitivity of 86, I believe, and that's a killer program. It really is. So, once again, if you're on a really quiet site, heck, why not turn the sensitivity up until the machine starts disagreeing, and then back it off at 1 or 2. So, that's up to the user, and it really does depend on how junky or mineralized your sites are. Now, your silencer, that's quite an interesting one, because running silencer -1 is virtually silencer switched off. Sometimes you don't want to hear a lot of popping and squeaking. You just want to hear the good signals, especially when you're coin hunting. So don't be frightened to introduce some silencer, sort of 2 or even 3, and that'll quieten the machine down, eliminate a lot of the pops, and once again, you might hear the slight signals better. So,
okay.
All right. Well, speaking about the programs, like I said, I've used the hot program. I've tried the deep program, but it just seems like it really it's not working well for my soil unless it's just really quiet. It's sort of kind of choppy. Is there any new programs out there that are going to get a little deeper without that choppiness, or is there something that's coming out with the 4.1?
Oh, mate, using the deep programs like being in an abusive relationship. It will punish you no end. You really need a special site to use the deep program. It's got a really low reactivity. It's bonkers. It's mainly designed for in the mountains of France and outback of Spain, where there's been very little habitation, so there's no real interference from modern man like iron. So yeah, you can use a deep program then, but just because it says deep, it doesn't mean it's going to go deep. It might go deep into your head and punish you, but Use it with caution, my friend. I've given up on beep, but some people overseas swear by it. So what can I say? New programs. Okay, I'm working on a new program at the moment, which is, it's got a little bit of a twist to it, and I stumbled on it purely by chance because I was out detecting with a friend of mine, Jerry, and I was using the Hawk program, and I had a really sweet high tone. You know, them little squeaky, soft ones you get.
Mm-hmm.
I called him over. I said, Jerry, come and would you dig this? Listen, listen. And he said, Gaz, I can't even hear it. It turns out that he's worked on the airport most of his life, refueling jets, and he's lost a certain tonal range to his hearing. He's lost the high tones.
Wow.
I think a lot of us, as we start tapping on in the years, obviously it won't affect you, Sonia, at this stage, but us guys who are a bit older, I think we've lost a certain tonal range to our ears hearing, depending on what we've done for a job and things like that. It's like, for me, you'll know the spraying, Dave, the HVLP turbine sprayers. I use one of them all the time. And it's a real high-pitched whine. It's a turbine. And I'm sure that's damaged my top-end hearing range. So anyway, cut a long story short, I think we've all got certain tonal range missing. So what I've done, I've now made a program which reverses everything. So the iron tone is a high tone and the coins are a low tone. So it's completely turned it all round.
Huh.
So it's really, it's interesting. I won't say it's as dynamic as the other programs, but hey, if you can't hear the high tones, you need to use something. So it may open the dais up to people who are struggling with it.
Yeah, more tonal deaf people. Yeah, I understand. That makes sense.
So let's give it a try. I'm still trying to find a name for it at the moment. It's got to be a short name, because when you have to put the program in 30, 40 daises at a dig, you don't want to be typing out ultimate all the time. It takes forever. So
it's the reverse curse.
That's too long. That's too long. So if any of your readers or listeners can think of a short, choppy name, that would be really, really good. But yeah, what I'll do, I will put the program up on YouTube very, very soon. I'm going to do a video with it, and let's give it a try. But at the moment, because I've moved to a new house, permissions are a bit thin on the ground, so I've got to sort of get into the community and start speaking to people a little bit.
All right, Gary, let's talk about beginners with the XP, and then let's talk about the soon-to-be experts. I'm like right there. There's a lot of stuff I still need to know, but I really know enough to. I'm really getting good with this machine in the past year. What kind of tips would you give for the newbies, the beginners to the XP?
Right. Okay, that's a really good question. The first tip I would give to beginners is find your tonal range. What program do you like? Do you like full tones? Do you like 3 tones? Do you like 2 tones? And once you've found a tone you're comfortable with, then, because I see a lot of people who've got like 5-tone programs, and it's driving them bonkers, which you can quite understand it for a newbie. They're saying, what are all these tones? So find something you're comfortable with and then run with that. I'd strongly suggest for a beginner to either use full tones. I know it sounds crazy, but if you're in the US and you're searching for the big silvers, that sweet high tones, really, really good. Or if you're relic hunting, use a 2-tone program. So 2-tone programs are yes or no, and the full-tone program, if you just want to dig the silvers, just go for the high ones. That's my first and most important tip. Get your tone sorted out. Don't spend a lot of time messing around with ground balancing, because that will come later on. If you get the ground balance wrong, you might as well just throw the machine in the hedge, because it ruins it if you mess it up. You get lots of false signals from rocks, you get false signals from the soil, so you really need to be confident on ground balance. Yeah, and just try and find 1 or 2 programs you're comfortable with, and don't experiment with too many programs, because as you've experienced yourself, Dave, once something clicks, it's there. You're comfortable, it's clicked, bingo.
Great. Now, I've learned a lot from the last, I gotta say, the last month, because I was strictly a park hunter, home hunter, residential, whatever it was, old homes and churches and schools and things like that. And recently I switched over to field hunting, and it's very night and day, so I'm right now, I'm thinking I'm almost over the hump as far as calling myself an expert. Like I still have, I'm thinking I'm probably about 80% right now. So what kind of, tips would you give, people like me that are close to being to that expert level, to get over the top, to be becoming an expert?
Okay, I don't think we ever stop learning the days,
No, I don't think so.
It's one of them machines. No, you're absolutely right, because you can go out and think you've mastered it, and then the next thing you know, you're thinking, geez, I didn't know that, But for the intermediate going to expert, I'd say start listening out for those 50-50 targets and investigate them. Rather than just dig the coconuts, the ones which you're 100% confident in, start digging the ones what have got a little bit of an iron buzz to them. But this is where your audio response is king, because if you turn the audio response down to say 3, deep targets are going to sound deep. And if you've got a deep sounding target with a bit of audio contamination to it, well, it's deep or small because it's faint. So they're the ones you want to be digging, really. So look for an excuse to dig rather than not to dig, and then you'll be really, really surprised on how deep the days goes and what.
Sonia, do you have a question for Gary regarding anything as far as something that would help you? Because I think you're pretty much right there too. You've been using the XP for a few years now, and just by the way, your finds and what I'm seeing, you're in that category, just right up there at the top. Is there something that you would like to know about the XP?
Yeah, I actually want to go back to the ground balance issue.
She cutting out again?
Yeah.
All right, Sonia, we're having problems with your connection here. She had a question about the ground balancing as an expert. Mine's usually set at 90. Sometimes I'll see it fall the ground to like 86, but I'll still keep it at 90. When do you start to monkey around with your ground balancing as an expert?
As an expert, the ground balancing, the key is the mineralization bar on the side of the meter. Now, if that kiddie starts pumping, you've got 3/4 of the mineralization bar. You know the one I mean on the side, which is a bar graph?
Right.
When that goes sort of 3/4 of the way up or near to the top, that's indicating that you've got some pretty hot ground. So then you can start lowering the ground balance slightly and perhaps bringing in a few of the small targets or difficult targets you may have missed at 90. But the disadvantage is lowering the ground balance is you're making the coil too hot. It may spark off when you hit a root. You may get a good signal on coke or hot rocks and ferrite and things like that. So, the 88 on the ground balance is a pretty good setting between 80 and 90. You see, people spend a lot of time on ground balance when they don't need to. I think, if I was in Australia or some real red hot dirt, then I'd adjust the ground balance. But general hunting, You know, I might be totally wrong because I don't hunt in the US. You might turn around and say, well, you know, our ground is spot and it does need ground balancing, but just be mindful that the lower the ground balance, the hotter the coil becomes. And once again, we're going back to an unstable machine. If it's unstable, you may miss some small targets. So it's a trade-off all the time, Dave. It really is.
All right. Now, the last time we talked, XP was in development mode. And I know there's some things that you're pretty excited to, that might be coming out, will be coming out. Is there anything that you can talk about at this stage of the game about what's new with XP?
Yeah, well, we're going to launch a new product. There's a guy called Thomas Pesquet, who's he's a French astronaut. He's going to take one of our machines to the International Space Station and drop it out. So,
that reminds me of yeah. I don't even want to get into it.
Let's not even go there.
Yeah, you gotta get one. You gotta just go one little bit better, right?
Yeah, we've got to go one bit better. So there's someone in the world who's going to have a new dais drop in their backyard. So yeah, who? Yeah, we're always working on new products, to be fair with you, and we're a busy company. We're always moving forward, as you know, with things like the Pinpoint Pro. We've got to go the one step extra, the bit more. I can't, in a nutshell, I can't tell you about the new products at the moment, but to say I'm really excited, I'm really confident that the future for XP is looking really, really good. We've got some special stuff there. We have got a machine coming out very similar to the DPAR 600, you know, the gold machine. A lot of people over in the US wanted that sort of machine because they've got hot ground. So what we're going to do is bring out something reasonably priced along that sort of wavelength of machine. So it's probably going to be running on program number 10 Goldfield, something like that, and have a few additions to it. So very similar to the DPAR, but yet we have got some really, really interesting stuff coming out very, very soon. So yeah, we'll announce it a good few months before it's actually coming onto the market. But,
all right, well, that sounds good. We'll have to have you on and talk about that. Hey, before we let you go, Sonia's got her connection's pretty bad here, but she wanted to know, you know, where can new users go to learn about the XP?
We've got the XP Classroom, as you know. There's some of your blogs on there, Dave. That's got all the regular posts and information up there. There's question and answer plate there. We've also got the XP Forum. So people from all over the world are joining the XP Forum and aren't asking questions. So yeah, get onto the XP Classroom, have a poke around, and I'd like to say to anyone, if you've got any XP stories or really nice finds, send them in. I'll gladly put them on the XP Classroom and be a part of the XP team. Good.
All right, sounds good. All right, Gary, well, we really appreciate you taking the time, your valuable time. I know you got to get that house back into shape and you got some rooms to paint, but thanks for joining us. It's great information as always, and hopefully we'll be talking to you soon about the new upcoming developments from XP Deus.
Yeah, and I'll send you over the link for the XP Deus version 4.1, the beta link. So if any of your listeners want to give it a try, give us some feedback, they're more than welcome.
Absolutely.
All right, sounds good.
And we've got some videos coming out very, very soon. We've got quite a comprehensive video on ground balance, Sonia. So we'll be running through some tests and experiments and just putting this ground balance. I wouldn't say that the ground balance problem, but it's just people don't understand the way the Deus ground balance works because it's very much different to other detectors. It's quite intricate. So we just wanted to cover them aspects. So all good.
Well, Gary, I hope you can hear me. I just want to say it was a pleasure being able to talk to you.
Thank you, Sonia. Let's see some more of those yellow corners coming out. I really love that Indian princess coin. That was beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
All right, guys. Gary, thanks again. You're listening to the Global Detection Adventure podcast with Lance, Mike, and Dave, and we're gonna take a few commercial breaks here, and when we come back, we're gonna get to our second guest of the evening. Gary, again, thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.
My pleasure, guys. See you soon.
All right. Thank you, Gary.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Clear.
All right, Gary.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can.
Oh, I hate that my phone was cutting out.
Yeah.
You got to get yourself
Yeah.
some Wi-Fi, some laptop. Yeah. All right.
I live so far out in the boonies to have to get satellite.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
I'll trade you so I'd rather live out there and dig all those coins you're digging than have satellite and have Wi-Fi.
yeah.
Okay, so,
Oh, man.
Talk to you soon, Sonia. You can stay on. I don't know if you're feeling work or jump in. Here, I'll talk to you soon. And so you can hang on for okay, we'll talk to you later. All right, thanks. Okay, who's the Lance?
Okay.
We haven't heard your
Yeah,
voice
it
much,
was-
so let's.
Yeah.
What, you gonna do the next interview?
Yeah, well, yeah. It was Addicted to Bleeps. It's the guy who's using the G Max from XP, and he wanted to talk to Gary because he's not really up to
Yeah.
speed with the machine.
Okay. Gary he's left already.
Yeah, he's left.
I
know
don't-
why-
I-
Dave, I think I'm.
I don't think
Hey,
he's supposed to be talking about the G-Max though right now because that was one of the things he was probably talking about.
Hey,
Oh.
Dave.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to hang up just
Okay.
because I've got such bad signal. I'm sorry, guys.
That's all right.
Okay, we'll talk to you guys
Okay.
later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Yeah, because that's one of the things he mentioned that the new detector. This guy's probably testing it out, and he's probably not supposed to really be talking about it.
He's had it in all his videos.
I mean, I don't care. I could just not say anything. But what's well, you know what to talk to him about, right? And
Yeah,
I'll just kind of I'll just chime in.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do your interview, and I'll just kind of chime in.
Yeah, it's just going to be a kind of free-for-all interview. I'm going to go ahead and bring him in now.
Okay.
Let me add him. And just a second, let me find out what his name was again.
Yeah, you think this is gonna be a lot of editing with this one?
There's going to be.
So it didn't come out to her. Like cut most of that stuff out because every time she talked, it was broken up.
S-T-I Castellanos Rodrigo. Okay, so it's ringing his side. Yeah, it's just a lot of editing, but it's like I've been telling everybody, I'm supposed to be running at about 1,000 megabytes a second here, but I'm only averaging about 250 right now, and that's what's causing a huge lag to go.
I hear.
Yeah, I think he's here. If he has his camera on, make sure it's off to stop any kind of lag.
Yeah, it's off. It's off. Good, Christian. How you doing?
Chris.
We're doing great. Glad to have you aboard. Glad you came on.
I don't hear him.
Yeah.
Why don't I hear him?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Yep. I got you. Lance, you got him?
No, not at all. Yeah, I'm gonna hang up on my side. Bring me back in.
What? How do I bring you back in?
You can add to the call.
Hold on a second. Share video. I don't know what's happening here. Let's see.
I don't know why I can't see him.
We're on Facebook, right?
Yeah. I hear nothing from him. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be just a second getting this taken care of real quick. There's always technical issues. Yeah, I know you guys can't hear him over there. Really bad, slow connections going on here. So, media constraints not met. All right, let me see.
Here you go. He's in. I'm in. Lance, you?
Yeah, I'm here.
You're now?
No, I still don't hear him.
You can't hear him?
No, not at all. Damn it. Oh, man.
Why don't you get rid of Sonia? How did you get rid of one person?
They each had to hang up.
Her name's up there, but not. Yeah, I can hear you.
See, I don't hear it at all.
No, he doesn't hear you.
And nobody on the other line on YouTube right now hears either. I'm gonna hang up. I'm gonna start a whole new call, guys. So each one of you can hang up, and then I'll start a new call for each of us. So I'm gonna call.
Hello.
Hello, there it is. Now
that's a good start.
Now I'm trying to figure out how to get other people into this. Just a second, David.
Okay, cool. No worries. Oh man, if I hadn't only messed up Skype so badly.
Yeah, I know. It just stopped completely running on my one computer, which is the one that was running everything before, and now.
Yeah,
right.
It was so simple and so perfect.
Yeah, I know. Let me hang up real quick. I'm gonna call on both of you just now. Okay, where is it? Answer. Dave? 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 Dave?
Yeah.
Okay. See if I can bring Chris in.
Hello.
There he is. Okay.
Okay, cool. Can I hear David now, though? David,
can you hear me? Check 1, 2, 3.
Yes. Fantastic.
All right, let me find a spot where all this dead space began.
What's happening here? Let's see.
It's 2017. It should be easier than this.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is that people want to update all their stuff, and it makes it worse.
Oh, you're testing it out.
Yeah,
And he's
I know.
Let's see. So we got Dead Space about here. Yeah, it's just a lot of editing, but it's. Yeah, so I'll just put the split right here.
I'm having to do this through my phone now, not the computer.
Really?
I'm hoping that if my phone doesn't like time out and then go to sleep mode, that I'm going to have to keep on touching the screen just to play it safe.
All right. So now UK dirt fishing's in, Bob's in. Oh, all right. So we got Richard Crunkmeyer, Bob. We got Wayne Peterson from Colorado in. Bob Hope, our good buddy there. Everybody's in. All right. So we got some people up on Facebook right now. No,
Cool.
not Facebook, but on YouTube watching or listening. They're watching me, but listening to all of us.
I see.
And now, are we going to be able to? We're not going to be able to do that game this week, are we?
But we can do a game. We just won't be able to get any call-ins. Yeah, that's the problem. And so yeah.
So we'll have to do the game with our guests then. What can I say?
Oh no! What's this? What are you like entrapment? What is this game?
Oh, we're gonna throw baloney at you and see if it's.
I'm really worried.
Yeah, it's
been a really long day.
How many steaks you can carry in your pocket and run across a field full of starving Dobermans before you get mauled? But
that wouldn't go well. Trust me. I'm 41, Lance.
So you wouldn't be. Well,
we both had it then.
You wouldn't be able to take one person you can add to the guest list to do the game.
I don't know who's in the guest list. Tell me who's.
Anybody could Skype call actually right now. I got Skype open. I got nobody on Skype. So
let's start the interview with Chris. Let's start the interview with Chris, and then about halfway through, we'll get somebody on.
We'll get the dogs out.
Yeah, and then we'll do the game, and then we'll continue with the interview.
All right, yeah, we'll do that. This is just a reminder, everybody that's in the U.S., Wayne, Richard, not UK Dirt Fishing. You don't count. If you want to give us a call, the area code is 920-455-5118. With luck, it's going to be working today, and we'll be able to get you guys onto the show, and we will be having a contest here in a little bit. But for now, we're going to be bringing us back into the show. You know, I should have had the Jeopardy song in the background when we were trying to get everything running up. You know,
where's your theme tunes?
I haven't put them in yet. They usually come in post.
Do you want me to make you one? I think that works, doesn't it?
That totally works.
It's a bit Benny Hill, but I'll work on that.
That's what I was going to say. Is that what Benny Hill?
Oh dear. He wouldn't do very well this day and age, would he? What he used to get up to.
Oh, no.
I still watch him. I still think he's funny.
Nowadays it just wouldn't be working with all the stuff going on in Hollywood.
No,
it would just be totally wrong.
No, definitely not. No, he wouldn't last long.
unless of course Harvey Weinstein played Benny Hill.
Yeah.
Boo.
Sorry. Too fresh. All right.
Here comes the hook, Lance.
Hey, look at that. Tumbleweed.
Taking you right off the stage.
All right, so I'm ready to come back in anytime.
All right, you want to bring us in?
All right, I'll bring us in. Chris, I'll just introduce you as Addicted to Bleeps. Is
cool.
That all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, I'm pretty sure you branded that out really good, so we'll just refer to you as Addicted or AB.
You can call me Bleep, sir.
Okay, just a second. I gotta wait till this. I accidentally hit the wrong. Okay, I can force quit it. Okay, there we go. All right. I was trying to open this back up and get everything going. Just call you Bleeps.
Bleeps, yeah, Bleeps is cool. That's fine. That's fine.
All right. So, edit break. I'm gonna have that little banter probably at the beginning of the show too, minus the whole Harvey Weinstein bit.
That's what I was getting at there, but I didn't want to name him.
It's not an issue that you can't name him anymore. It's just an issue that you can't bring up the subject anymore.
Yeah. Otherwise, you become part of that whole kind of ordeal.
Even a joke about it's just bad news nowadays. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it is. It's not cool. It's not cool. It's like all the this whole stuff that's going on, like just Kevin Spacey and like just all of these people that are just held in such high esteem.
Yeah.
Like, man, what is going on?
Yeah, I know.
What did you do? What did you do?
Yeah, no. And it's really bad that you see people like Harvey Weinstein, who was really responsible for helping make people like Kevin Smith the person that he is today.
Yeah.
And
Clerks.
Yeah, exactly. Clerks chasing.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden this happens and everybody just backs away. So now every bit of residuals is going to be going to women in theater, basically, or film.
Yeah. It's Corey. Is it not? It's one of the Corys. Is it? It's not. I think it's Feldman, isn't it? Is Corey Haim the one? Yeah, he says that he's sitting on some really kind of like, I don't know, potentially disturbing stuff, isn't he? But doesn't he want like $1 million for the story or something?
He wants to raise $10 million to make a movie about it.
To make it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
He wants to basically slam everybody at one time without giving them a chance to get any kind of feedback.
Yeah. It's not cool, is it? None of it's cool. I don't know what's going on over there, but oh, come on. I mean, we've got it here as well. We've got it here big time, but
right. Well, let's just stick this. Let's stick to metal detecting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's get the show on the road.
Oh no. Sorry about that.
All right, no, that's been. I got off track. I got really. My train is really wobbly, so the tracks aren't really helping. It doesn't stay on there quite often.
Okay, cool. David, watch him closely. He gets into all sorts of trouble here.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back from the break, and those of you that just got to listen to us live, you got to hear some of the funny stuff that we were talking about offline. But right now, we are here, and we got a very special guest out of the UK. His name is Addicted to Bleeps, or just Bleeps to all his friends. We want to welcome him onto the show, and welcome to the show.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome,
hello.
Mr. Bleep. How you doing?
Yes, I'm good. I'm a bit concerned though. Could people actually hear what we were just talking about?
Yeah, just only on the live stuff.
Oh, that's all right then. Okay then. Yeah.
Okay. That's the podcast behind the podcast.
I won't call the lawyer yet then.
You don't have to. You don't need to worry about it.
Okay, cool. Thank you for my introduction.
No, you're very welcome. I've been following you now for quite a while on YouTube, and you've been out and about. And recently, you've been doing some amazing things. You've been testing out a new metal detector. I don't even know if we can discuss it yet, what it is.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Yeah, it's, I'll tell you what, Lance, it's really, really strange coming from one kind of just something that you learn, a metal detector that you learn, and you know it so well because you've been using it for so many years, and it almost becomes a part of you. It becomes like an extension of your hand or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. And then you move to a whole new model in a whole new world, and then all of a sudden you're just like, wow, I didn't even know that this. You kind of presume that all metal detectors kinda, in a way, behave the same, but no, they don't. There's a lot of differences between brands, I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
go ahead, Lance, go ahead.
The difference is, I mean, you're talking about the difference between a pick up and go metal detector to a one that you really need to personalize to the area where you're metal detecting at, correct?
Not so much. I'd say that the detector that I used before, but I've moved to the GMP, the Gold Max Power, the XP. That's the one that we're talking about. Uh-huh. Before that, I come from the C-Scope 6MX, and they're both, would call them the mid-range metal detectors. So they're both kind of similar. You need to know them, pretty well, but they're not pick up and go as in, I'd say like a Garrett, an Ace 150 or something like that, or something from Maplin's, or you guys would call it Walmart. It's not, and at the same time, it's not as complicated as an E-Track or a Deus. So these detectors kind of sit in that mid-range, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's not. I don't really have to learn too much different. It's more the tones, Lance. It's the tones. You've got to relearn tones, if you know what I mean. So you've come from one detector, this tone equals this tone equals this. But on the new detector, that could be completely different. This tone does not equal this. So it's more kind of adjusting your psychology and your ear to learn about the new tones, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, this new detector that you're using right now, is this something that you're testing for the company?
No, basically, what this so much me with the view to buy it. In the decided that video, I'm going to test this for 10 videos. Well, not 10 videos, but I'm going to test it 10 times, so then I can get a good feel for it. Because the problem is you can go out with a metal detector and make your conclusion about that metal detector in your first hunt, which is kind of naive. You've got to spend time with a metal detector before you understand how it works.
Yeah.
And coincidentally, actually, I've just concluded it. I've done 11 hunts with the G Max, the GMP, the G Max power. So I have come to my conclusion. You're going to ask me that's a lead-in, Lance, for you to say, cool. What is your conclusion, Chris?
So,
or bleeps.
Well, we were just on the phone with Gary from XP, and he was talking about some products that are coming out that he couldn't really talk about. Is this something that the guy that you borrowed the detector from, is this something that he was supposed to be keeping kind of under wraps and just letting you try it out, or?
No, then this isn't anything which is industry. It's got nothing to do with the industry at all. This is just a friend that's like, bam, try this detector. You've heard really good things about it. Try it, see how it gets on, and if you like it, you can buy it from me, because I hate it. Shouldn't say that. No, he just sorry, he just didn't really get on with it. So he's kind of lobbed it my way. So I'm going to try it. But yeah, this has nothing to do with the industry. If Gary wants to like chuck me some metal detectors to try out for my videos, 11,000 subscribers, then I would be very happy to do that for him. especially if he's got a spare Deus kicking about the house.
Now, who makes this? Is this this what's it called? The
G Max power. So this is XP. This is Gary's kind of like this is it's a make called XP. They're French, and they also do the Deus, which you've probably heard of.
Yeah,
I think.
yes.
Yeah. So Deus, G Max power. I don't know what else they do, but they're the two that they're most well known for.
Okay, so this has been out for a while. This detector.
Yeah, it's been out for it's they called it over here in England. They called it the hammy hoover. So you know, hammered coins. They call it the hammy hoover because apparently it can hoover up hammered coins. But I haven't hoovered any hammers in the 11 times that I've used it so far. Not saying that it's a bad machine or anything. Well, we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
This is our first date.
Okay, yeah. I just wanted to make sure this wasn't one of the top secret stuff that's coming out from XP.
This machine's been out since, I don't know, it's been out for forever. Yeah, everybody knows about it.
Okay.
No, there's no new technology here. But yeah, I'll be very interested to hear about this new technology. I've heard some stuff actually. I don't know if it's got anything to do with XP, but somebody was telling me about. No, it's gone. I've completely forgotten what I was going to say.
Well, let's talk about you. So you're on YouTube. You got a bunch of subscribers.
Yeah.
How long you been metal detecting for?
Well, what year are we now? 2017. So I started because it's 2000. So I've only been detecting for about 7 or 8 years, actually, thinking about it. But
and how many machines have you gone through as far as different types of machines, I should say?
Okay, so I've gone through a lot of machines, but they're normally under one brand, which is C-Scope. So I've used the 3MX, the 6MX, the 4MX, the CS4PI, which is a dedicated beach machine for beach metal detecting. Huh. So now I'm kind of like branching out and moving to other brands to test, what else is out there in the world. Hence why I'm testing out the XP. The Gold Max power. So and I want to move to other brands. I want to the pinnacle of my journey and my voyage of testing out all of these metal detecting brands will end at probably the 3030 or the E-Track. But until then, I'm kind of like making my way up, and I want to kind of like move in. I'll probably try the is it the AT Max, the new Garrett machine?
Yeah.
I'll probably be testing that out at some point as well. And I just want to kind of like, this is something that I want to introduce into my metal detecting channel, is just looking at other brands and how they kind of, you know, the differences between them. Not so much reviews, you know, because I don't feel that you can just do a metal detecting review on a metal detector. I feel that you have to spend a lot of time with a metal detector before you can come to a conclusion about it.
So how would you describe your channel, as far as, is it, you know, just about how to use the detector, or is it the adventure in detecting? And you know, when people come in, what should they be looking for, or
okay, cool.
expect to see?
Yeah, sure. So my channel is kind of a mix of, it's not dedicated metal detecting. I like to think that half of it is comedy based as well. So I kind of like come at it from a completely from a slightly different angle. It's predominantly metal detecting based, but there's comedy in there as well. But at the same time, I kind of like drop a few reviews. I drop a few metal detecting tips, like beginners metal detecting tips. Those videos do really well. So it's all about metal detecting, but my kind of niche, if you will, is that I tried to make it amusing. When I first started doing these metal detecting videos, there was a lot of videos where you'd see an old guy, not an old guy, sorry, that's wrong, just a boring fellow behind his camera that would sit there for 20 minutes digging one hole. And it was so slow and painful. And he'd be like, oh, yeah, nearly there. And you're like 20 minutes into this video, and you want to kill yourself. Pulls out a rotten old shotgun shell. So I saw these videos and thought, I want to do the opposite of that. And I like to feel I was one of the first people that started doing these really quick edits. So it's like bam, find, bam, find, bam, find, which is what pretty much everybody does now.
Yeah.
Just making it more speedier, making it more amusing, engaging with your audience, and entertaining, I think, is probably the kind of like concluding word there.
Well, you definitely do have the entertainment in there. I love it, and I laugh every time I'm watching your videos. Especially, I've been watching the G-Max ones, and some of those ones are actually quite funny. You know, one of my favorite ones is when you're on the field and it's you and two other guys, and you're trying to do a comparison between the G-Max and their detectors, and none of you found anything on the entire trip.
Yeah, it's not going very well, is it?
No.
Let's be honest. and the problem is, you go out with this kind of like idea in mind to make a video, and the thing is with metal detecting is there is no solid conclusion to what content you're going to get video wise.
Exactly.
So you can go out and find nothing. You literally can go out and find nothing. And I'm trying to make a blooming video to entertain people, and you do that, and you're like, oh man, this is not going well at all. And that's probably about 99% of my attempts to make metal detecting videos.
Do you stay in a certain location, or do you do a lot of traveling and hitting different sites and different terrains? And
I'm southeast England. I'm stuck down here. I've only got it's kind of difficult in England to get permissions to get to get land to metal detect on. And I have these fields that have been done by so many people since the 1970s, and they are awful. And I'm trying to dig content out of them. And so I just have this kind of this cluster of fields in southeast England, David. I'd like to go elsewhere. If anybody wants to, actually, I shouldn't say that, because loads of people invite me to their fields, and I just haven't taken them up.
Yeah.
You know. It's probably just I'm just bloody lazy, if I'm honest. But I will at some point. I will go out and venture into other places.
So you've been around. You said you've been doing this for 7 years, or you just been detecting for 7 years? The video part.
So I started. I used to earn my living on YouTube years ago. I actually teach bass guitar on YouTube. And that was predominantly my kind of main income because it did really well. I could actually live off of teaching bass guitar on YouTube, and I started that in 2007, I think. And it was really successful. I got loads of sponsorship, loads of brands, did really well out of it. My channel's still there. I don't add anything to it now. It's got like 55,000 subscribers or something. So I already knew about YouTube when I started metal detecting. So straight away, obviously, my first inclination and instinct is I'm going to make videos to, document how, my finds. So when I started metal detecting, I started doing the YouTube videos at exactly the same time.
So then you're basically at the forefront of this. You were there before, the big shots over like Digger Don, Deep Digger Dan, the man with the hat.
Maybe, yeah. But in those first days, I didn't really take it seriously. It was just kind of like I was basically documenting my club's journey, and I did a couple of videos here and there, and I wasn't really that. It was just a kind of like side project to my bass guitar channel. But then people started sincerely getting interested in it. And it's like, you've got to carry on doing stuff. So the more people kind of egg you on, the more belief you get in yourself, and you carry on. But yeah, I'm pretty much one of the earlier guys, I guess, if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah. Pioneer. All right.
Well,
when did YouTube come out? I don't even.
Yeah,
because I just started.
2004, I believe, 2004, 2005. No, because one of my first videos, that was 2006, and it was only 3 months old when I uploaded my first bass video. It was about 2006, 2005 time, around about that time anyway.
You started hanging around with this guy. He
February
probably bought Google. Well, he probably bought Google stock and right before everybody else did, because he knew it was going to be big. And
I wish.
Yeah, I just looked it up. February 14th, 2005.
There you go, 2005. Yeah, that makes sense. That's it. Spot on.
So when you're out there filming, is it solo, or do you have guys filming for you? Is this done with a couple of cameras?
Guys filming for me? God, I wish. No, I can only just get myself to do it, if I'm honest. God. There's not a couple of cameras. No, it's me and a mobile phone, sir. It's as simple as that. I did use a point and shoot, which got me some nice 1080 quality. But these mobile phones these days are blooming amazing. Yeah. My phone shoots in 4K.
Really?
You don't need like great equipment, and anybody can do this now. This is why it's such an exciting time making videos on YouTube, because anybody can do it. You don't need all of this equipment. You can edit your films on your phone now through iMovie. Yeah. You can do anything. This shoots in 4K, and I don't need it to shoot in 4K. I use 1080p, and my videos at the moment are fantastic quality. So yeah, I just phone in the pocket, bam, get it out when I need to. But the only problems with mobile phones is wind, and we get a lot of wind over here in England. Both types.
Yeah, I'll get with you offhand, and I got some. Actually, we can talk about that right now. This is great stuff for people that are YouTubing and using their phones. I use a lavalier microphone, which can be got for about between 10 and 15 pounds on eBay. And then they have a wind cover for that. Yeah, lavalier is one of the lapel microphones.
And the lav mics.
Yeah. And they have some that are specifically designed for cell phones or mobile phones. And it's by a company called Boya, B-O-Y-A. And with that same one, you can get a battery pack on it. So you turn it off to use it with your cell phone. You can turn it on to actually plug it into a camcorder. Fantastic thing. Costs about 12 pounds, and then you just get the wind cover for it, which costs about another 2 pounds, and you have a windproof microphone.
Yeah, lav mics are fantastic, but I've got one myself, but the only reason I don't use it, I hope that wasn't a sponsor. Was that a sponsor?
No.
No. Okay, cool. Okay, I can tell you how bad they are then. So no. In all honesty, the reason I don't use lav mics is because it can get really rugged over here. The weather is bad. The mud is bad. The ground conditions are bad, and you've got a lav mic on, so you've got a lot of movement. so wind and you're turning stuff. You've got about 30 jackets on here in the winter because it's so cold, because it goes to -2 or 3. And I just find that all of that stuff just adds to the fact that the lav mic it can rub against your jackets, and you can rub against things. And I haven't, to be honest with you, I haven't really given it that much of a chance, but I might do actually, Lance. That's thanks for reminding me on that one, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I've been using it in every single one of my videos, and you can't hear the wind in there. And I guess it just comes, you're kind of right, because it does depend upon where you clip it on. I usually find a place where I clip it on, I leave it there, and I just unplug it from my phone each time between takes.
Where in America are you, Lance?
Oh, I'm in Germany. I'm in mainland Germany.
Oh, of course. Sorry, I forgot. Yeah, you went to Germany. So the weather's exactly the same then, isn't it?
Yeah, it's basically the exact same. Like right now, it's just completely pissy and muddy like crazy right now.
Yeah. We got a lovely day today. It was a really nice warm day. So anyway, a lav mic is a good idea. I think you can get those mics as well, which are really good quality mics, and they've got the wind protectors on as well. So or you can just do it the way I do it and just put your back to the wind, crouch down as far down as you can as possible, and hope for the best.
Well, I guess that always works.
Yeah, so you see, this isn't really a professional outfit you're talking to here, I'm afraid, while he takes another swig of his beer.
Well, we just got Richard Crunkmeyer subscribed to your channel, so he just came.
Oh, cool.
Well, let's do this. Let's take a little moment, take a little break here. Let's see if we can get a caller on the line to play my my GDA game here.
Oh God. That's just it's
an anarchy. Game. And you know what? We got some cool prizes too. So if we don't get anybody, well, I guess our guest is going to have to play.
And I get all the prizes.
You'll get the prizes too. We have a CD from what's the guy's name?
We got a CD from T.G. Copperfield. It's his debut album. That's T.G. Copperfield. That's given to us directly from the band themselves.
And we also have a GDA official hoodie.
Okay.
Sweatshirt, jacket, hood with a hood. You got the GDA member patch on the front, and on the side you got Team GDA patch. So two great prizes. We need one caller. We'll take a little break, see if anybody calls in. If not, Chris, you're up.
Okay, cool. I'd be slightly concerned about calling your band Copperfield though, after this whole Weinstein thing we were talking about.
Yeah, well, his name is T.G. Copperfield. Tilo Copperfield is his name.
Oh, Copperfield.
Yeah.
Not
Copperfield.
Right, sorry, you lost me there for a second. Oh man, I'm so sorry. Sorry. I'll leave now. I'll get my coat.
All right, you might need another beer too.
Yeah, let's go for that.
All right, so the call-in number is in the U.S. That's 920-455-5118. You can also call from outside the U.S. That's country code 001. 920-455-5118, but international lines, international prices do apply. So feel free to call that number, and the first one that calls in, we'll get you on the show to actually try to win the CD and the hoodie. All right, we'll talk to you in a sec.
Fantastic. Going well?
Yeah, going really good. We're definitely clear now.
Good.
I mean, the
cool.
people live, they still hear us on YouTube and everything. But
hello, everybody live. Yep, that was your little warning. Don't say anything controversial, Chris.
I'm out of Dr. Pepper too. Oh man, I gotta go to work in 2 hours.
So Lance, tell me, why did you move to Germany?
My wife.
Oh, okay, cool. So is she German or American, and she's working in Germany?
No, she's German. I was U.S. military for 15 years. I was stationed over here for a while, and I met her, got married, and then we flew all over the world, Fort Bragg, North Carolina, down to Italy, and then I got out after the Iraq War, and we decided to come back to Germany, and so that's where we are now.
Wow. So you've really lived it then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So what brought you to metal detecting then?
It's actually a therapy for me. I have what's called post-traumatic stress disorder from Iraq.
Oh, PTSD,
yeah.
PTSD, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's no big
sorry.
deal. But it's really helped me clear my head and everything else. It gives me a focus. That's why the podcast helps. The videos help, actually going out and just being alone out there on the fields. It's one of the things that I just love in life. So it helps me. Helps me with clarity.
That's exactly the same reason I do it. That is exactly the same reason, because I PTSD myself in the past. I won't go into why. And like from that, I've got I've anxiety and things like that. So metal detecting is absolutely therapeutic for me. In fact, that is the number one reason I do it.
Yeah.
The secondary to the videos, the finding cool stuff, the finding history is actually secondary to the fact that it sorts my head out.
Yeah, and that's what I like about it. It's such a really relaxing thing that it really does help you find some clarity in everything. It helps you clear your thoughts and everything else, and that's why it really helped me.
Yeah.
But yeah, finding the history and stuff, that's another thing I love. I love picking up that silver coin and thinking, man, you know what? 250 years ago, somebody had this in their pocket, expected to buy a whole month's worth of food, and now I found it on the ground after that person dropped it. That's
crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, that person is now dead, and I'm the very next person to hold this.
Yeah, I mean, I found a Roman coin the other day, and I'm sitting there thinking 2,000 years. Like, I'm the first person to touch that coin in 2,000 years. That is just ridiculous, isn't it? It's crazy. And you kind of your mind starts playing all these stories and these fantasies, and it's magical almost. You're like, who was that person? What did they do? What was their life? How did they die? And, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
but just going back to the therapeutic stuff, man, there's something right. And I've only kind of just touched on it as I've become an adult, I guess. That there's something that resonates with us, which is right about being in natural environments. I don't feel that we are walking the right paths when we're sitting in offices and cities and towns and stuff. For some reason, being out in nature sorts our heads out, and it just tells me that the kind of human condition should be out in nature. We should be out in that environment. And it's a wonder why everybody's depressed and anxious and stuff, because we've kind of shut that world off almost.
Yeah, I completely understand and agree with you, because I mean, I see that around us all the time. It's the differences between people that live in these small towns in Germany and the people that live in the cities. There's almost nothing going on in these small towns, even if you look at percentage wise, from addiction to from addiction to crime and everything else, percentage wise, the cities are extremely higher, because there is a lot of people on top of people on top of people, and there's none of that. There's no release for anybody. You go to work, you're balls to the wall. You go home, it's balls to the wall. You're still working. It's just incredible. Yeah,
very much so. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. There's something meditative almost, psychologically. It just calms that mind as soon as you're out in an environment with green and sky, and and that is honestly 100% the number one reason I do it for. Everything else is secondary. I just love it. It's almost like a meditation for me.
Hey, do we get a caller?
Not yet. Let me double check.
All right.
Shall I get my mum to do it?
Yeah. Well, your mom is not a detectorist. She'll have to be a detectorist.
Yeah, no, she's not. No, she hates it.
I think Richard's about to call in, actually.
She's disappointed in me.
She's disappointed in you.
You know what? It's funny because you are like an alien when you take up this hobby. I don't know if you guys have noticed.
Yeah.
The way nobody else around you. Yeah, well, nobody else around you, your friends and your family, really get it, do they?
I was yesterday. I was hunting out in my field, I found this field of dreams, and I'm out there hunting. All of a sudden, another hunter comes in, hunting, and was kept to himself. I'm thinking, well, really, nobody really knows about this place except for like 6 guys that, and I'm saying, well, who is this guy? And it was like one of my permissions.
Where? Sorry, Dave. Can I just check? Where are you still in? Are you in America?
I'm in the United States. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
So I'm hunting, and it's like he just kind of stayed away from me. We're far away, and I go, well, he's not going to find anything over there because I've already hunted that already. So I didn't really care. It was like, maybe, I don't know, maybe somebody saw us hunting there one time, decided to give it a go. But it was kind of strange. I didn't say nothing,
That was weird.
because
I think I just had Richard on, but then he hung up.
Well, that's not how you communicate, Richard. You're supposed to talk
usually
to people first.
when I see a detectorist, I usually go up and say hello because it's like you're in the same kind of hobby, and you get to talk to each other and so you meet new friends and guys share permissions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's like if you're not in the hobby, you're pretty excited about finding something. Like I find stuff, and I come home and nobody's really interested in what I found.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I just found this coin. It's from 1827. It's silver. You ever? It's like yeah, whatever.
Yeah, my wife continuously looks at me blankly whenever I find something that I think is cool, as does my daughter as well, actually. And thinking about it, pretty much everybody does that. That's kind of worrying.
Yeah.
That's the thing. My wife loves going out with me. I'm happy about that.
Oh, you're lucky. You are lucky though.
Yeah, she just can't do it that often.
Yeah, I'd like my other half to do that. That would be cool. But she has recently. She's shown some interest though, so hopefully that might actually manifest. Yeah, we'll probably just argue though,
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? If he doesn't, he's not calling in. Let's just do the game with Chris here.
Okay,
right,
cool.
We'll do it with Chris. All right. So lines are closed, people.
All right. First of all, we need 30 seconds on the clock.
Okay. I feel pressured now. What have you got me into here?
It's a question that I'm going to give to you, and you got 30 seconds to answer.
Okay, cool. Richard, you can still ring in. Come on. Help me out here, man. Come on. Right, go. David.
You have some kind of timer there? Kind of...
I got a 30-second countdown clock already set up.
Okay.
All right. Are you going to give the manual buzz when it's over with?
Let me just do a test real quick. Here's what it sounds like.
Sounds like nothing. Sounds like my watch on my hand.
That's interesting.
You hear that?
I don't hear it.
No, we didn't hear anything.
Why is none of this stuff going across to
Yeah. There's still nothing there. No, it's dead. Oh, I heard something in the background there.
Okay, I'm gonna try it this way now.
Was it the countdown theme or something?
Let's try this.
It's way there in the background, isn't it, David?
Yeah, I can't even hear it.
No. Just go beep with your mouth.
Just do this. 29, 28, 27. Really make him nervous.
All right, we'll do this then. All right.
Just do 30, and then when you get to 25, it's 25, 20.
All right. No,
10.
Timer. Let's see if Siri hears.
It's got like an 8.
Hey,
Siri, like an 8 timer.
Is it only one question?
Timer is set for 30
Yeah, it's one question
That's a lot of time.
with 10 answers.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so I have a 30-second timer all set up.
All right. Okay. Here's what the questions I'm going to do first before you start.
All right.
Okay. Besides like coins that you find out in the field, there are some common relics that you'll find on, let's say, 1800s farm fields.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. So we're not talking about coins. We're not talking about anything from the 1700s, whatever. Okay. So these are common relics that are found, just say, on an 1800s farm field. I have 11 listed here.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to check. When you say them, I will check them off. If you can get 10
Mhm.
Let me make it easy for you. 9 off my list of 11.
Are you questioning my intelligence?
Yes. These are common relics that you find. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
And I will check them off. If you get 9 out of my 11, I mean these are very common.
Oh God. Okay.
You'll be the winner.
This is in Britain, though, yeah.
Yeah, you can go for anywhere. I'm pretty sure you got them over there too.
Hey guys, can I do something real quick? I think I just changed this up so that you can hear this. I want to check this really quick. I just found a setting. You hear that now?
No, just as good as last time.
Man, I hate Facebook.
Yeah, it's not cool.
Yeah, I don't get it. All right.
All right.
What's
Are we
up?
ready?
Yeah, I'm
You can put that in. All right. Ready. Common relics that you'll find on an 1800s farm field. And on the count, when I say go, we just list them. I got 11. You can get 9. If you can get 9 of these 11 that I've listed, you've won. And now they're pretty common, so it's not like something that just.
I don't know if I can do this. I can't think of them. 11. Okay, go. Yeah, okay, go.
Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, buckles.
Got it.
Buttons.
Got it.
Bullets.
Got it.
Shells. So that's the empty.
It's the same thing. Bullets.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Tokens.
Got it.
Tokens. Ring pulls.
Don't have that on my list.
Tin cans.
Nope.
God, good Lord, man. What else? Oh, this is.
Relics, not junk.
Relics. Okay, relics.
3,
Tokens, tin cans,
1.
2.
Time.
4.
Was that 30 seconds?
I gotta tell you, Mr. Bleeps, you are one big loser.
That was the quickest bloody 30 seconds I've ever experienced in my life. I'll tell you that.
4. I was sure you get more than 4.
What were the others?
Here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Sorry. You got buckles, buttons, bullets, tokens.
Yeah.
Have portal bells or any kind of bell.
They're not common. I've only had one in my whole life.
I have harmonica reeds.
I've never had a harmonica reed ever.
I have suspender clips.
Good Lord, man. I don't think I've even had them either.
Horseshoes.
Yeah, that goes down as rubbish.
Pocket knives.
Pocket knives. I've had half of one.
Tools, any kind of tool.
That's not fair, is it?
And utensils like spoons and forks and knives. Oh
okay.
My God.
I think the utensils is like, I'll agree with you on that one, but the other stuff is just tenuous at best, isn't it? Give me that CD.
What I'll do is I'll go ahead and send you the TG Copperfield CD.
Okay, Copperfield.
I'm keeping a sweatshirt though.
I said Copperfield.
Okay, cool. I'll take that one on the chin.
Yeah, if you know what, if you would have got maybe 6, I would have said, all right,
Thanks,
I'll slide you the jacket. But you know what, I'm going to slide you the jacket anyways, because you know what, there are no losers. There are no losers that can be.
That's even worse. Even worse.
No, I'm just saying there are no. If you're on GDA podcast, you can't be a loser, man.
That's like at school these days when the kids lose something, they give them a medal anyway. You didn't deserve that medal. You were a loser.
We're gonna send it to you anyway, so you can wear it in your next video when it's cold out.
Okay. All right. I'll do that. Sponsor.
All right. Yeah. We'll just get Lance, hit the address to Lance, and it's gonna be coming from the United States though, so it's good.
That's right.
A couple weeks.
That's cool. Yeah, a couple of months.
Yeah,
it's kind of ironic that your name's Lance. Lance, have you seen Detectorists over here yet? The show.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I know his name is Lance.
And what is the main? Yeah, that's the only 2 Lances I know in the whole world.
And we both go middle.
Isn't that weird?
I've been watching little clips on YouTube of that. We don't get the show here in the States, but it's a good show. I like it.
Do you understand the humour?
Oh yeah, definitely.
It doesn't go past you.
No,
Because
no.
I've got quite a lot of American friends actually. So.
But see, I think a lot of Americans don't understand the English humor. I mean, I grew up watching
dry.
Yeah, but I grew up watching like Monty Python and oh man, what is
You'll
it?
absolutely
The young ones. The young ones.
Well,
Yeah.
if you're in the hobby, you know. If you've been in long enough, you know. I mean, some of the stuff like the rules that you have over there are different than over here. But if you've been in it long enough, you know those rules. And yeah, I think it's funny. I love the way those two guys, they goof on the other two guys.
That's
You know,
cool.
their competition, whatever they call them.
Yeah, the
funny.
other club. Yeah, I was hoping to be in that show.
Really?
Yeah, because I've done some TV myself. Do you know this?
No.
No. I've got a TV show on Netflix called Battlefield Recovery.
Really?
What is that? Battlefield?
Yeah. It was very controversial, but at the time, all this stuff kicked off about it. But it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's called Battlefield Recovery. It's about metal detecting. Well, it's about repatriating dead soldiers from the Russian and German sides. That's what the core of the show's about, and getting all of the stuff that we found with them back in Latvia and Poland on Netflix. I'm keen on. I think that it could have been edited differently. I think that they could have done more stuff with it, but I'm very proud of the fact that we got all those people back into proper graves. So yeah go check it out.
Yeah, that was one of our things
Yeah.
last week on the GDA Q&A show was if people found that it was what people thought about metal detecting at battlefields, if we should just leave the people that were in the ground where they lay, or
Interesting.
or if they should be metal detect the area and then hopefully reburied.
Do you know what sold it for me, Lance?
Huh.
Do you know what sold it for me? We got a young lad back to his family via his dog tag, right? He was 16 when he died, and we got him back to his sister, and handed his corpse over. And do you know what sold it for me? Because those questions went through my head when I started it, and I had all of this it was a really emotional time actually, because you're digging dead bodies up for a start, and you're trying to get them repatriated to the proper graves, and it's quite a powerful thing. And the one thing that threw me, and it was actually an American soldier who had gone through World War II, and he was a friend of my friend who was also a presenter on the show. He's from San Diego, and he interviewed this guy, and this guy said, each one of those men are still in hell until you give them a proper burial.
Wow.
And when he said that to me, I was like, bang, just click. Right, we got to get these guys up and out and get them buried. There's millions of them still over there.
Yeah, there is.
You can in Latvia and Eastern Europe, in the Courland pocket where we were, there's people lying on the ground. It's such a vast space that they still haven't been able to clean up, and you can't archaeologically do that because there's so many of them. You've got to get them up and out and reburied because there's millions of them out there. And these guys, the guys that we work with, do it all. They're just volunteers. They don't even get paid to do it. It's crazy what they do, the work that they put in.
Yeah. And
sorry. Anyway, we've digressed, haven't we?
No, not at all. This is actually really good because I remember hearing things about the show that there was a lot of controversial stuff coming up, but a lot of the people were thinking that you guys are just out there to privately dig up these graves and taking the stuff for personal gain.
No, there was there's so much legal discourse. I mean, for a start, we were working with, I can't name them because of legal stuff, but probably the biggest TV channel in the world. So all of the legal stuff around that was massive. You couldn't fart without somebody knowing that you had farted. You had to sign so many documentation. Every teeny little thing that we found, and I mean little thing, something like 2,000 or 3,000 documents of the things that were found was actually written down, documented, sent off to the war museums. Some of it is actually in their showrooms now. And you were being watched as well. I mean, if anybody was decided they wanted to pocket something, no way you could do that. There's no way, and nobody would anyway. We were all there for legitimate reasons. I'm kind of I wouldn't say I'm a spiritual guy, but I'm very kind of like karmic. And if even there's no way that I would have pocketed anything, but even if I knew that somebody else was doing something like that, I would have just like turned my back on the whole thing. I would have been really peed off if I'd known, because that was our mission, was just to get guys and girls up and out and properly buried with respect and honor. And that's the problem. The TV show doesn't even show us attending the funerals. You know,
Yeah.
That's what I mean about the editing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was controversial because of stuff that people put forward ideas that what happened concerning the show that didn't actually happen at all, and then it snowballed on the internet through social media, and before you know it, it was this massive thing of all these people saying, oh, they did this, they did this, they did this, and it was none of it was true. So when like Netflix and these other TV channels and Channel 5 over here went through it all, they were like, none of this stuff is true what these people are saying. So when it actually aired and then they saw that it wasn't about what they thought it was about, all of these people, all of the archaeologists just disappeared into the background and didn't say a thing about it after that. They vanished because all of the legal documentations were there, all of the like just everything was done absolutely properly. It was so tight that you couldn't do anything. You couldn't do anything illegal, definitely not. But the problem was the original title of the show. You know what that was, don't you?
No.
They I don't know, can I say this without getting sued? I think I can. So the original title of the show, because it was called War Diggers, and it was about getting these guys and these girls up and out, and as you know, and it was called War Diggers. And then 2 weeks before it was to the promo stuff was to go out, they changed the title. Now this TV channel, this massive TV channel in America, got bought out by Fox, and Fox is a little bit more different as how they present things. So it was called War Diggers, and it was a documentary about World War II. Fox come in and went, right, we want to call it Nazi War Diggers.
Nazi War Diggers.
They called it Nazi War Diggers. And we said, what the hell are you doing? You cannot call it Nazi War Diggers. That is disgusting. And it's like, firstly, all of the people in Germany that were on that side all of them weren't Nazis. Most of them were just young men that got told that they had to go fight, and they just really wanted to go hang out with girls, but they had to go to war. So it was only the SS that were the true Nazis. And then it was called Nazi War Diggers, and which almost makes us out as being Nazis. And they called it that, man, a massive TV channel. So as soon as they called it that, everybody just had free reign to rip us to death. Nazi War Diggers. That will go to me, to my grave, I swear. It was a very, very, very difficult time when they named it that, because we were getting death threats, and I lost my job over it, and it was really, really hard. Yeah, but you know, luckily, thankfully, it got recalled Battlefield Recovery, which was more like what it was originally called. It was called War Recovery in the first instance. But Nazi War Diggers, because their thinking is a controversial name will make people watch it.
Yeah,
which is the most ridiculous. Which is when you're talking about history and you're talking about people that you're trying to get reburied. It's such a sensitive subject. It's such a sensitive subject. You can't just give it this yee-haw kind of, you know, ridiculous name in the hope that people are going to watch it. It was a very, very bad mistake on that particular TV company's part.
Yeah,
that's Fox for you.
Yeah,
that's Fox for you, David. That's it, mate. You hit the nail on the head there, my friend. So anyway, I'm very proud of what I achieved with all those guys and those girls, getting everybody. Yeah, check it out on Netflix. But I just, the controversy and all of that stuff that went around it, I just to this day I hate. I'll never do TV again because of it. I'll never ever venture into that world. I mean, I told you guys earlier that I'm a musician, so my bands did quite well in the 90s. I've kind of like tasted the music world, and people say it's like really cutthroat, and you know, people are horrible, and it wasn't too bad. I walked into the TV world and wow, those people are bad. So I'll just stick to YouTube, thanks.
Yeah, we've got
As long as they can.
We got a couple other friends who've been on TV shows that got dropped for one reason or another as well, and it's all political.
It is. It's very much so. Yeah, it's a very cutthroat kind of pat each other on the back. I don't know. It's not for me. I'm just not that way inclined. I'm not meant for TV. I'm not meant for all that politics. I just want to do my own little thing. My little corner of the internet. I'm happy doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, you should be. Well, Dave.
Anyways, let's move to the cheerful stuff.
Hey, thanks for bringing us down, man.
Sorry, man. I'm sorry, man.
Well, I think that's going to take us to about the end of the show. We are just going over an hour and 43 minutes.
Yeah, you were amazing, Chris. You're an amazing guest, man. Really very, very entertaining. Great information. We're definitely going to have you. We're definitely going to have you back on.
Yeah, definitely. Let's do that.
We're getting you back in.
Hey, what size sweatshirt are you? Like a large, extra large?
I don't know these days. What? I think we'll go for.
What are you? How tall are you? 5'9", 10, or 11, 12?
6 foot on the dot. Right.
6 foot.
If we go large,
extra large, I think would be because it's a hoodie.
Okay, go extra large. And then there's a little bit of like give there for me to put my new lav mic on.
Yeah, cool.
Do you see how I tied that in?
Yeah, you worked that in. Yeah,
that was a great callback. I love it.
Thank you. I'm taking a self-righteous bow as I speak.
All right. Well, you leave all your information with Lance. We'll get it to me, and I'll get you that out to you.
No worries. Thank you for having me on, guys. I really appreciate it.
All right, Chris. Thanks for joining us.
Take care.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Well, Dave, I think that brings us to it. You know what this means.
Yep. What does it mean?
Music playing in the background. We're coming to the end of the day.
Is that what it means? Because I don't hear anything.
Yeah, no, I don't know what's going on.
There's definitely nothing. Lance, you got to work on that, man.
All right, brothers. We'll see you guys later. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. It was great talking to everybody today. I'd like to thank XP Gary for coming on, XP Sonia. Lance, you did a great job as usual behind the keys.
Yeah,
and Chris, thanks for joining us today too.
No problem.
Chris, before we leave, you want to promote your site real quick? Just let people know where to find you.
No, just check out Addicted to Bleeps on YouTube, my friend. Addicted to Bleeps, go for it.
Yep, it's going to be on the show, so everybody can check it out there.
Cool, fantastic. Thank you.
All right, guys,
Okay.
I'm out. Gotta go. We'll talk to you later.
I'll speak to you soon.
All right, take it easy.
Bye-bye.
And that's it for the show this week, guys. I want to thank you all for bearing with us through all these crazy technical issues going on. Everything got updated and computers died. But as I always say, we'll see you out on the field. And let's dig it up, y'all.
Let's dig it up, y'all.
All right, we're clear.
Clear? All right, cool. Wife's going to bitch at me now because I woke her up out of a sleep.
Uh-oh.
She was taking a nap, and I got all excited with the game, and it was too loud. She's going to be like, what else to do, though? Right, you guys mental detect, because it helps you with your PTSD. I mental detect as it gets. I mental detect because it